Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Eric Coates, Volume 4 on Chandos, featuring the BBC Philharmonic and John Wilson. Since I've done numbers 1, 2, and 3, one of you mentioned that I had not yet done 4, and I realized, oh my, I didn't. And this is just as good as 1, 2, and 3. It's a wonderful series. John Wilson does not have the Sinfonia of London at his beck and call. He has the BBC Philharmonic, which actually may be the better ensemble, but, that's a matter of debate. The performances are excellent. Let's see what we have here, shall we? Eric Coates is great. I mean, let's face it. He was just a really, really gifted composer of light music who worked absolutely within his ability. He understood what he could do, and he did it really, really well. And that's what makes greatness, frankly. Somebody who is aware of their limitations and their strengths, and who always plays to their strengths. And those strengths are universal enough to make us want to sit up and take notice. So here we have some really fantastic works, actually. Music Everywhere, the Rediffusion March. Okay, well, that's, 3 minutes of fluffy night, loveliness. The Footlights Concert Valse. He was a great waltz guy. In fact, the notes point out here that Coates loved the dance. He loved to dance with his wife. They went dancing constantly. He was a dance guy, and he had such an enlivening sense of rhythm. And he was a dance guy who loved all kinds of dance music, including jazz and popular music forms. He wasn't a snob about it. And that infectious enthusiasm really permeates his music, and you hear it here. The Footlights Waltz is lovely from 1939. I Sing to You, a Souvenir from 1940, a pretty tune. Then we get one of his major works, The Three Bears Phantasy. He wrote 3 fairy tale fantasies, right? Cinderella, the Three Bears, and the something about a giant or something like that, that I never remember. But it's really a lovely work, almost 10 minutes long, tells the story quite well. He wrote it because his son insisted. His son was 4 years old, and he wanted his father to set to music his favorite story. And being a good dad, that's exactly what he did with love and charm. There are a million performances of this. In fact, we just talked about this in my recent video about the Charles Mackerras box, because he recorded it. He did an Eric Coates disc. It's very popular, deservedly so. From Meadow to Mayfair, Suite for Orchestra. This is an autobiographical sketch illustrating him moving with his wife to their new digs. And like a lot of his works, it's kind of interesting. There's almost a historical, progression from a sort of, pastoral or simple beginning or simpler beginning to modern life with jazz and stuff like that. It's really fun. City life from country to urban. It's a theme that recurs in a lot of his music, and it works really, really well because he knew how to do it. So that's charming. It's a 12-minute work and 3 movements, 50, 60, yes, 3 movements. Then there's Under the Stars. Oh, it's just charming and poetic and delightful. And finally, last but certainly not least, probably his major orchestral work, the 4 Centuries Suite. The 4 Centuries Suite begins in the 17th, then we have the 18th and the 19th, and then the 20th. And it goes from, Baroque pastiche through another luscious romantic waltz in the 19th century up to a full-blown modern dance piece with saxophones and a drum trap set and jazz combo things. It was written around 41, actually, and premiered in 42. And according to the notes, which are very, very comprehensive and well written, the orchestra at the time was offended by the use of jazz in the piece in the 1940s. Can you imagine? I mean, there still was this snobbery, shall we say? And the snobbery is really all the more fascinating when you consider that most orchestral musicians were hardly members of the aristocracy. These were working class people as often as not, who happened to be musically gifted and had been trained. And boy, did they wear their knowledge like a insulating cloak of snottiness. Anyway, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful piece. The performances are really good. John Wilson, who I know I've, gotten on because he's become, convinced that he's like the world's greatest conductor of blockbuster masterpieces. He is someone who does not seem to know his limitations in the same way that Eric Coates does. He should take a lesson because he does fabulous musicals. He does very good soundtracks. He does terrific light music. He may have, an angle on certain aspects of the serious or heavier music repertoire. He very well may. He's very talented, but he hasn't found a recording program that sort of demonstrates that. But this does. He's totally in his element. The performances are lively and beautifully recorded. And if you have volumes 1, 2, and 3, no reason not to get number 4. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.